All you hear is pow, pow, pow.
And as I said no, I looked straight forward ahead and I watched the muzzle flash from both of their guns and I felt the impact to my face instantly.
You're watching Live from the Plaza Stories, where we go deeper than the headlines and give you the full picture. This is the story of a girl from the Bronx who appeared in a Bad Boy music video in 1997, had a hit song handed to her that another woman says was stolen, fell for the most powerful man in hip-hop, survived a shooting at a Manhattan nightclub, wore a dress to the Grammys that broke the internet, and then got out of a relationship that decades later would look very different in the light of everything that followed. This is Diddy and Jennifer Lopez. The full story. Part 1. 1997. Puff Daddy, Biggie and Maze drop Been Around the World. The video is a full James Bond production. Spy aesthetic, international locations, A-list cameos. Quincy Jones is in it. Wyclef Jean, Vivica A. Fox, and one more face, a young actress credited simply as the Princess. That is Jennifer Lopez. At this point, she has done Selena. She has done Money Train. She is beautiful and talented and ambitious. But she has not yet crossed into superstardom. Diddy puts her in the video. He notices her, and 2 years later, their worlds collide completely. Part 2. The Chante Moore song. Here is a piece of this story that does not get told enough. R&B singer Chante Moore, who has genuine hits to her name, records If I Gave Love with super producer Rodney Jerkins. It is her song. It has been written for her. Then Diddy walks into the studio, hears it, and according to Moore in a widely reported NPR interview, Puff Daddy walked in and heard my song and said, "I want that song."
If I gave you love, then where would that leave me? If I gave my trust, would you use it against me?
Rodney was like, "Yeah, it's already taken. We wrote that for Chante." And Puffy was like, "Yeah, I want that song."
If somehow you knew that your love would be true.
Rodney Jerkins then writes essentially the same song for Jennifer Lopez. That song becomes If You Had My Love, J.Lo's debut single, #1, career launching, the song that introduces Jennifer Lopez to the world as a music star. Chante Moore says, "Hers is so close, I can't even sing it right now." Same song.
He wrote the same song for her. I heard that it was because Puff Daddy walked in and heard my song and said, "I want that song." And he was like, "Yeah, well, that's already taken. You know, we wrote that for Chante and blah, blah, blah." And he was like, "Yeah, I want that song." So Rodney wrote really the same song. Honestly, if you hear my song, it's the same song.
Diddy's camp never responded. J.Lo's camp never responded. And Jennifer Lopez became a pop star on the back of it. Part 3. They meet, they connect, and Diddy has an agenda. Diddy is brought in to work on the If You Had My Love video in 1999. That is where the relationship starts. But here is what Diddy himself later admits to Essence. Jennifer was my perfect match in terms of energy. I thought, I'll test the waters and hopefully Kim will see I'm serious and come running after me. He is using the relationship to make Kim Porter, his long-term partner and the mother of his son, jealous enough to come back. Kim Porter, for her part, tells Essence in 2009 she dismissed J.Lo as a woman with a big booty and a smile, and says Diddy was calling her throughout the entire relationship. He was never fully gone from Kim's world, and J.Lo, who is genuinely falling for this man, does not know any of this at the time. Part 4. The Power Couple and the MTV VMAs. September 1999. The MTV VMAs. Diddy and J.Lo go public. He is the most powerful man in Bad Boy Records. She is the girl from the Bronx who just released On the 6 and is becoming a genuine pop star. Together, they are something the culture has not quite seen before. Hip-hop and Hollywood. Equal powers, equal charisma. The press cannot get enough. J.Lo tells The Breakfast Club years later, "The Puffy era was just kind of a crazy, heightened time in my life. You know, Puffy and I both grew up in the Bronx. They are more than just a couple. They are a moment. The first real hip-hop power couple before anyone had that language for it. Part 5, Club New York. The night with 4 different stories. December 27, 1999. Club New York, Midtown Manhattan. Diddy, J.Lo, and bad boy, protege Shyne, are there celebrating the upcoming release of Shyne's debut album. Around 2 in the morning, Diddy knocks a drink from a man's hand. A man named Matthew Scar Allen. What happens next has 4 completely different versions, and the truth of what actually occurred that night has never been fully settled.
There's no doubt in my mind who shot me.
Everybody testified that, Diddy was arguing. The guy threw money in Diddy's face.
I was standing by the front door. I watched the entire thing out. I had no reason to believe that it would escalate to a shooting.
And then Scar was like, yo, I'm gonna kill your Shyne. You with him, I'm gonna kill you too. And that's when he pulled out the gun, and I pulled out my gun.
All you hear is
Pow, pow, pow.
And as I said no, I looked straight forward ahead and I watched the muzzle flash from both of their guns and I felt the impact to my face instantly.
There were 3 weapons fired that night, and they never took the fragments out of the victims. So we don't know who shot the victims.
J.Lo testified at the grand jury, as did many other people. It needs to be reopened because if that is in fact the case, she carried the gun in and she lied to the grand jury.
I got convicted of reckless assault for depraved
Intent.
The prosecution's version: money gets thrown at Diddy in disrespect. Both Diddy and Shyne draw guns. 3 bystanders are shot. Shyne's version: he tells Cameron years later, they were not people to underestimate. When they start saying they're going to pop your top, and I saw someone reaching for a weapon, I acted in self-defense. But it wasn't my problem. It was Puff's problem. Victim Natanya Rubin's account. And she is shot in the face, a bullet that scars her brain permanently. I watched him fire the gun. She points directly at Diddy. She has been saying this for 25 years. Bodyguard Wolf Jones's lawsuit. He alleges Diddy admitted responsibility privately, and that J.Lo carried the firearm into the club and passed it to Diddy after the altercation began. He also claims Diddy tried to bribe him, using a pinky ring J.Lo had given Diddy as part of the payment, to take the fall. 4 stories. 1 night. 1 outcome. They run. Part 6. The arrests. Shyne's decade in prison. They flee in a Lincoln Navigator. Run a red light. Police pull them over. A stolen 9mm handgun is found in the vehicle. All 4 are arrested. J.Lo spends over 14 hours in police custody, handcuffed to a pole at points, reportedly crying throughout. She is eventually released without charge. Diddy faces gun possession and bribery charges, acquitted after a week-long trial in 2001. And Shyne? Shyne is 21 years old. His debut album has just gone gold. He is on the verge of being one of the biggest rappers in the world. He is convicted of assault and unlawful possession of a weapon and sentenced to 10 years in prison. When he is released in 2009, he is immediately deported to Belize because he is not an American citizen. He converts to Judaism in prison. He becomes a politician. His rap career is gone. When Diddy is arrested in 2024, Shyne breaks his silence. This is someone who destroyed my life. Natanya Rubin says watching Diddy get arrested was very cathartic and calls for her case to be reopened. The breakup. On Valentine's Day, 2001, his publicist issues a statement. Mr. Combs confirmed that he and his love, Jennifer Lopez, have, in fact, broken up. Through a publicist. On Valentine's Day, he goes straight back to Kim Porter. He admits to Essence that dating J.Lo was partly a strategy to make Kim want him back. And it worked. The Cassie lawsuit in November 2023 alleges rape, sex trafficking, years of physical abuse, settled overnight for an undisclosed sum. The FBI raids his homes in March 2024. He is arrested in September 2024 on federal sex trafficking and racketeering charges. Held in Brooklyn, pleading not guilty. And J.Lo, when a fan asks about Diddy at an autograph signing, simply stops signing and walks away. She says nothing. And her silence, again, is the loudest thing.
Do you have any comments about P. Diddy and the allegations?
Go back up, look, don't lean. Jennifer, get your sign, don't lean. Ignite your sign.
Jennifer Lopez first appeared in a Diddy music video in 1997 as The Princess. She left his world in 2001 with her career on fire, her heart in pieces, and the truth about what that night in Club New York really meant still unresolved. 20 years later, everything she built after him is the proof. The marriages, the films, the tours, the comeback that never really ended. She escaped that world and built something bigger. And Diddy, the man who was going to make Kim Porter jealous, who may or may not have taken a song from Chante Moore, who walked into that club on December 27, 1999, and walked out without consequences while an 21-year-old kid went to prison for 10 years, is now sitting in a Brooklyn detention center waiting for trial. Drop in the comments. Did J.Lo know more than she ever said? This has been Live from the Plaza Stories. Subscribe for more.